Oud Woods by Tom Ford. Hello everybody, I'm Andrew Douglas Lane. This is the Douglas Moon Fragrance channel where I give my honest thoughts and opinions as I review fragrances from the cheap all the way up to the luxurious. And if you know anything about Tom Ford, you already know this is a very pricey fragrance. Especially ones that come in these bottles. If you see a Tom Ford that comes in a bottle shaped like this, and they usually come in a box that has the platform holder at the bottom when they come in instead of a typical flip top. These are the special blends or the small batch, something along those lines. And they're a little bit more on the higher range compared to ombre leather, which even on the discounters is $198, but at the better price. These on the discounters, I think this was still $250, $230 for a 100 mil, which not the worst in the world. But personally, if we're going to spend this much money, then you'd at least like to know if it's worth it. So to start with the notes, you got amber, according to the website, amber, patchouli, pink pepper, cardamom, and there's one more other than the oud, which they say they use a rare oud for this, but I can't remember what it is right now, and I do apologize, but again, I'm no professional, I'm just giving you my personal thoughts. Who am I, by the way, real quick before I get into this? I'm just a guy who's absolutely passionate about fragrance between perfumery and candles. I work for a candle supply company, like we supply for people who make candles themselves. It's a pretty big industry, and then as well, I do this on the side, which I recently hit 20,000 subscribers, so thank you so much to everybody who's watched and enjoyed my videos. Hopefully one day I'll increase on production quality, but right now I'm just trying to do the best I can. So anyways, we've talked about the notes, but one thing you want to know is if you're going to spend this kind of money, whether you get it in retail or discounter, does it have the quality? Does it have the projection? So to start with, let's show you the atomizer. Comes out in a decent little mist. It's not like an extreme blast. This isn't anything like a Dior Sauvage, which honestly, a lot of things I've experienced really aren't anything like those, except for maybe Xerjoffs. They're not the same spread, like almost like a Febreze can, but it comes out in a little bit better of a mist. This comes out in a very gentle spray, but at the same time, Tom Fords are known for being very, very powerful and dense, very strong. As I sprayed it, it's already gently, but powerfully filling up this space. And the fragrance itself is beautiful. I'm very strong, like at the top note. I've used some cheapies before and got oud fragrances from like cheaper brands and stuff that were like $20, and the oud in those smelled horrible. But if you watch someone like Aaron Terrence Hughes, who is a professional perfumer and a big inspiration for me, you'll know that there are varying qualities of raw materials, and the oud that goes into this, again, their website says it's a very rare oud that the description says is going to welcome you into a dark sensuality pretty much. And I can honestly say that it will, because my wife and I were at the mall and tested out some Tom Ford fragrances, and when we smelled this, she immediately was like, I don't care what it costs, you have to get that. So again, I'm going to spray some on the skin, which is funny that I'm doing this because I actually already put something else on my body today, so it's going to be kind of a powerful blend. But I put 2 little hits on my arm, but it's already blasting out, filling up the space. And as soon as you spray, you've got to love oud, you've got to love that dank woodiness. As far as the top notes go, because that is the thing you're getting hit with the most. It's a very strong blend of that oud with the patchouli, but it takes a couple of seconds to mellow out. It takes a couple of seconds before it becomes something a little bit more digestible for the regular person, because overall, this is a very beautiful, can be mass appealing fragrance. I've worn this to work, I've worn this around a lot of people, and this actually is one of their favorite things that I've worn so far. Overall, it smells luxurious. It definitely smells like something that costs a lot of money. If you wear this, you're going to smell like somebody who wants to stand out and be a little different than the average person, because not everybody that you work with or see is going to wear something with fragrance like this. But as it starts to lose that very top harsh, not harsh like again compared to dupes or cheap fragrances, but once it gets past that top harsh oud fragrance or scent profile, and it starts to relax into a more calming thing, the cardamom, the patchouli, and everything really comes together to make this beautiful, soft. I think of like if you've ever smelled Glade Cashmere Woods from the mall, not from the mall, but from Walmart. It's like a 99-cent fragrance that you can go out and just spray. It's like a room spray. If you ever smell that, it smells actually pretty amazing for what it is. This smells like that times 1,000 in a more beautiful format. It doesn't smell cheap though. I don't mean it to say that. I'm just saying it has a very gorgeous, relaxed, velvety, smooth, beautiful, like take you on a journey. Like it smells like dusk. It smells like the sun is going down and you are out in the woods just having a beautiful night with your lover or just alone contemplating it. My wife even said as soon as she began to smell this on me at the mall that it made her really feel something. It made her think. We see color, she especially is an artist, a professional artist, and She thinks of colors a lot. They come to her when she smells things, and she was thinking of like deep, rich, dark purples with the browns and beautiful deep greens blending together. Something like, again, sunset in the forest. And that's kind of what this makes you think of. It definitely comes off, even though I get really close to it because I just like to shove it up my nose. This fragrance comes off of you like this far is where I'm getting a good smell for it at this very moment. And when I've worn this, like I said, this is not an older batch. This is recent, even though I got this off of a discounter site for like roughly, I think it was about $2.50, something along those lines for 100 ml or a 3.4 ounce. It lasts an extremely long time. I've gotten roughly, as long as you're not wiping it off or washing over it too much and stuff throughout your day, just spraying it on a spot that's going to wear, like on your wrist, or on your neck and on your clothes especially. But on your skin, I'll say, especially if someone with tattooed skin, which means I technically hold perfumery worse than probably someone who doesn't, and I also have eczema. This has still lasted on my skin with a decent distance of roughly about this far off of me, but even still, after roughly 10 hours, it's still on my skin where you can smell it. But to start with, I get about 6 hours or so, personally, on my skin at roughly about maybe 5 inches of distance, maybe about 3. So that's just me. It's not going to work for everyone that way. And I don't know if there's variations in batches, but I've heard that Tom Ford's can be pretty consistent depending on which fragrance you get. But Oud Woods is definitely very powerful in my personal experience. And throughout the day, the little nuances of the notes blend and flow. It's a beautiful fragrance. It's gorgeous. There's no getting around that. This, to me, is not worth the price as far as me being a cheapo, and I don't think that any fragrance should be over $200 or $300, but then again, I'm not a professional perfumer, and I would say if you watch people like Aaron Terrence Hughes or other people like him, you will see them talk about the actual work and time and energy that goes into making a fragrance, especially one with beautiful materials and getting it just the right balance so that it's dense and strong but yet smooth and other people can enjoy it. Or even more niche fragrances, which I think this could potentially borderline. But once that harsh overtone of the oud starts to cool down, it just becomes such a beautiful, beautiful fragrance that I couldn't even... You just got to go smell it if you can. I don't recommend blind buying fragrances ever. I still try to tell people, if you can, please go somewhere where you can actually give these things a whiff before you actually go for it. But if you already like oud fragrances, you will go crazy for this. This might become your favorite one. There are some others that might be better, but overall, this is phenomenal. But again, the strength, the beauty, the blending of it all, it has so much depth to it. Me and a good friend of mine at work, he said it throughout the day when he smelled me walk by, off of clothes especially, or the back of the neck. A lot of sillage comes off of this for quite a good period of time, and I work 10-hour shifts, and they can still smell me, at least in wafts, when I walk by after roughly 8 hours or so. I'm still getting people say something when I walk by them, and then even at the end of my shift again, it's still on the skin all the way into the evening before I wash it off. It's not blasting people in the face all day, but it is there. It's beautiful. It's amazing. The price, a little too high. Then again, I feel that about a lot of things, but this is a luxurious brand, technically speaking. So if you're thinking about getting into a more higher end fragrance, something that's going to last you, something you don't need to spray much of before it's going to come off of you and be very powerful, I do recommend this. If you're looking to get into an oud fragrance, this would be an incredible gateway because it has the perfect blend of the cardamom, the patchouli, the pink pepper, smooth, beautiful, radiant, not too much. It's not too woodsy, but yet has that beautiful wood tone. It's going to make you feel comfortable and calm and just make you think, make you contemplate. So I do recommend giving this a shot, but overall, if you're willing to pull the trigger or trying to go for something a little different, you want to make a statement, this could be a signature. This could be worn at any time, but probably during the fall and winter is going to be the top hits for this, but I'm going to wear it whenever I want because that's how I do things. It's beautiful, it's strong, a little linear, but at the same time, as time goes on, it maintains the beauty of the original opening after that harshness all the way through with the variations of the notes as it breaks down. But Tom Ford Oud Woods, I highly recommend it. As someone, again, who's not a professional, I say go smell it. But even if you're going to go for it and blind buy it, I say get it off a discounter site. Don't spend full price if you can help it, but go to sites that are trusted. So again, I'm not sponsored, but Max Aroma, Fragrance Net, go to those sites if they have them in stock and get you one. Probably start with a smaller amount if you want to give it a shot before you actually fully commit. But this fragrance is gorgeous. Everything about it, the notes, the longevity, I give this a 9.7 out of 10. It's one of my favorites now. It's one of my wife's absolute favorite fragrances. It's incredible. So if you're looking for something different, again, you can't go wrong with this. So 9.7 out of 10, Oud Woods by Tom Ford. Again, thank you for everybody who's been watching. I'm going to get more professional at these. I'm going to do better. I try to keep these unedited because I just want people to get my raw, off-the-cuff thoughts without me throwing anything in there or getting, maybe even potentially biasing myself a little too much. But at the same time, you like what you like, you don't like what you don't like. And so eventually over time, maybe I'll make these a little bit more fun to watch for people of different walks of life. But thank you for everybody who subscribed. Thank you for the 20,000. Let's see where we can go going forwards, and subscribe and check out more of my reviews and videos. And I can't wait to show you guys more of what I've got going on. I've got so many more fragrances in the pocket ready to come out and do videos for. But again, I'm Andrew Douglas Lane. This is the Douglas Moon Fragrance channel. And I love you guys, and I thank you so much. Oud Woods by Tom Ford. 9.7 out of 10. Projection, powerful. Longevity, incredible. Cannot go wrong with this. Price point a little too high, but if you're looking to splurge, this is a good way to go. It will make you stand out. Thank you. God bless.